Alright everybody, it's Eyamaz and welcome back for another episode of Blood and Bones. This is, in fact, episode 50 of my Season 2 series, and we've gotten quite a bit further than the last season, but we've still got a bunch to do. We still got to kill the Wither, still got to get to the end, still got to kill the dragon, and figure out all this hardcore Ender stuff, because I don't know much of anything about it, but we've got quite a ways, and this is kind of a milestone. So today, after this episode, or maybe in the middle, we'll see how the episode goes, I will zip up the whole map, and I'm going to put it up on Mediafire. I got an account there a while ago, and I will give you guys a world download. So look in the description if you want to get a world download, and you can come and check out my base here. You can see the coordinates. That's 231, 220, or well, basically 230, 230. Never noticed that. So that's it. Cool. I hope you guys enjoy getting the world download. I know a few folks have asked about it. A bunch of stuff today. So I want to go make the tier 3 on the altar. I think I have all the things now. But before I get down there, I wanted to talk a little bit about just how things are going. So as you can see, I put some wheat up here in the farm. And I actually shut off that corner, but it just hasn't finished growing yet because this is regular dirt, and it takes kind of forever for it to grow. The problem is I'm not getting enough seeds to replant. Well, right there we just saw one come in. I had 3, it went to 4. But I'm getting less seeds than I'm using. So unfortunately this is not sustainable, except that of course you can take the wheat and turn it back into seeds like so. So if you want to take some of your crop yield, and make more seeds that way, you can. But you can't just turn this on apparently and let it run, because it apparently does not have quite enough seeds to keep going. All right, so along those lines, I've been keeping up with my wheat plant and crops that have been down here, the whole game pretty much. And additionally, I went over and planted. Oh, time to pick all this. Let's do that. Went over here and I planted another 9x9 because I had made some room here and never planted anything, never done anything with it. So I planted another 9x9 worth of wheat here to help keep up with breeding the cows for the blood altar. Alright, that's about it for that. So next piece, of course, is the cows and the breeder, which I must say is working out very well now. Oh, I forgot to bring one thing over. Let me grab a thing before we talk about this. So I saw this actually on Packrat's stream. Packrat knows lots of things. There's this precision sledgehammer from MFR, which can be used to rotate MFR machines, and of course that breeder over there is MFR. But it also does something interesting. If you put it in your hand, you can see the area that the machine is going to affect. So for here I can see the cows. Can we see? Yeah, and up there of course I can see how much the harvester and the planter are going to affect. So that's really good to know. I did not know that before. So a couple things I changed here. Obviously you can see the endless treadmill of circularity thing for the cows. Yeah. One of the problems, last episode I just had a few, what are these? Conveyor belts kind of pushing this way, and a couple things I didn't like about it. One is some of the cows were just stuck over there and kind of sort of glitching through the wall and stuff, and it was just, it was annoying. The other thing is, if some of the cows were over here and the babies were over here, they could just stand here and never grow up, or never get pulled under, and they could grow up. So the breeder stopped working at some point, and I went, what the heck? I thought it was working. Went and looked, figured out you can only have 10 cows in the breeding area, which again is this area right here. Let me get down off the thing. So 1, 2, 3, and I think it actually goes down 1 into the ground below. So you could move that up 1 level if you wanted, or down 1 level, I guess. But if you have more than 10 cows in this area, the breeder will stop, and the idea is that they don't want to overload servers with like 1,000 things all getting bred all at the same time or whatever. So that's a thing. I mean, you can change the config if you want, but that's the default, and I just left it as that. I put a couple of these guys back over here. I had let them out at one point, and I think maybe that's what broke it. Anyway, so yeah, they were getting just kind of sucked under, and then sometimes the babies maybe could stand over here and never get pulled. So yeah, now we have the circular conveyor belts of circularity or something to do with going in circles. And now, I think it's friendlier. I think instead of getting smashed into the wall the whole time, they're just getting a workout. They're just kind of going in circles, and I think the cows are happier with it. Yeah. Or, something. Oh, food. Or power and breeding, actually. Yeah, so I just ran out a little bit ago. Well, let me do it from this side. Maybe we can see them breed. Probably can. You guys ready? Here you go, and once this the idle timer goes down, breed! Yeah! Alright, so I checked it out and created... Oh, I just shot a cow in the face. I didn't mean to do that. Now they're mad at me, so let's not go in there. Yeah, I checked it out. Oh, it only did 2 of them. So they must not all be quite ready. At any rate, every 10 minutes the cows can breed, at least in this pack with these configs. And since you can only have 10 in there, you'll get 5 babies, of course. So every 10 minutes you should get 5 baby cows. The culinary generator is doing just fine. I have not fed this thing in forever, and I mean, it's got 200,000, 220,000 RF in it, so that's more than enough for what we need over there. Alright, so let's get over here. I have done a whole bunch of, well, honestly, kind of watching videos and reading things and doing other stuff while I stand in the pool of super slow regeneration. That's only regen 1, and it falls off. It's supposed to give you a half a heart every like 2.5 seconds, but because it falls off, the effect has to kind of refresh. So you actually only get like half a heart every 5 or 6 seconds. Is what it seems to be. At any rate, I have... nope, not in there. Oh yeah, right, I put them in here. I have now made 40 reinforced slates. I got some gold, I got some of this, and got my apprentice blood orb. I think it's time to make... Yep, there we go. Runes of sacrifice. We can make all that, and then I need to get a little bit more stone because they wouldn't stack higher than that. Bam. I have 20 runes of sacrifice now, and I think that's what we need to do the tier 3 altar. Okay, so 2 things I forgot to grab. Let's go get those. Need 4 glowstone, and not to misplace it because you can't... Well, you can silk touch it, I guess. But we just got to be a little careful we don't place that improperly. And then we need, well, 8, but let's say 12 of some interesting block. Should I just do... Yeah, let's just do stone bricks. Sure. That should be fine. Oh, and we're probably done with the little hammer. Let's put him away. Okay, so let's get our tier 3 altar built, and then I got another idea, something to do. I'll have to see if that's going to be able to get in this episode or not. If it does, I may have to do a bunch off camera here. Alright, so this is for the tier 2 altar. Come on, mouse. These things right here. To make your tier 3, you want to go out 2, so there's 1, and then 2 is here, and down 1. And I must admit I have not done this actually on camera yet, but... on camera. Haven't done it in this world, obviously, but this is what I understand we want to do. Alright, so 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 on each side, obviously, that's your 20. And again, these runes of sacrifice are going to make it so that as I sacrifice the cows... Oh, they're directional, aren't they? Or... No, they just all point north, apparently. Interesting. These runes of sacrifice are going to make it... Things are going on over there. So that when we sacrifice the cows or other things, we're going to get more life points per... So I'm going to have to move the stairs a bit. That's fine. We'll figure that out. Not a big deal. Alright, so that's your 20 around the edges. And then this one, I don't think it matters at all. I don't think it matters if you even have a block here. But we'll put one there. Then you want to go up 2 with any solid block, and then on the top we want glowstone. Alright, so if I do that on all corners, oops, then we should get a tier 3 altar and be ready to do the next stuff. That's the next thing I want to talk about a little bit. Is a lot of this stuff requires a tier 3 altar and the let's see, right click it, there we go, tier 3 in the text down here. So current essence is 10,000 life points. I've already got it charged up. The problem is the capacity is also 10,000, and the next thing we want to do is make the magician's orb, because we apparently I need a sound muffler. Shut up, cows. Yeesh. Alright, I have to make a new sound muffler. The problem is, the next thing we want to make is this magician's orb, and that takes a block of gold, no big deal. That takes a tier 3 altar, which we just made, but it also takes 25,000 life points. And the altar will only hold 10,000. So, hence, fourth, wherewithal, something, something, something. That's why I have not been sacrificing the cows to make all this stuff come together, and instead have just been doing a lot of self-sacrifice, because, oh yeah, they're all mad at me, right? That's okay. I can stand over here and hit them from here. I've already tried that. So I can sacrifice a whole bunch of those cows. I can also self-sacrifice. I can use this regen. I hope that's enough. I honestly don't know how many are in there. I guess we can look at the entity count, right? So let's look away. And the third line entity is 7 or 8 out of 220. Now we're at 105. So I mean, in front of me, not necessarily these. Yeah, okay. Let's look this way. 70, 74. So in front of me, or where I'm looking right now, there's about 70 entities. So let's say there's about 60 or so cows in there. I don't know if that's enough or not. With the runes of sacrifice, I think maybe that is. The other thing I can do, though, is I can make a regeneration potion. And I wanted to talk about the potions for a minute, because one of the things I wanted to do is upgrade this flight potion with a greater power catalyst. Yeah, well, after looking at this, the greater catalyst requires the Master Blood Orb, or the Archmage. And of course these are going to require well, okay, you can get it with tier 4. So one more tier of altar, and 40,000 life points. So that takes a lot. This is more tiered and more difficult than I thought. Honestly, to get much further, we really need to make like a mob farm, and there's actually a ritual you can do that will auto sacrifice and keep filling up your altar, and then of course if you put your orb in the altar, it'll keep filling your soul network, which is really the way this is supposed to be played. I didn't really want to go past tier 3, and I don't know, I think maybe I'll just do a little more exploring and try to find some more stuff instead of making all this tier 4 and tier 5 stuff, because that's going to take a lot of work. And I want to get on to, well, the Wither and the End and all that stuff, and not get caught up with a lot more time on blood. On blood magic. Need a sip. So it is a cool mod. There's a ton of stuff you can do with it, but I don't know. It's like kind of like witchery. You could do an entire series on witchery. You could probably do almost an entire series on blood magic too, just all the different rituals and spells and potions and all that stuff. But really, I just kind of want to use it to get myself towards the end goal here. So, long story short, I need to go get a block of gold and some other stuff, and we'll see if we've got enough cows in here. The one other option is I could actually make a regen potion. Even a basic regen potion is going to be about twice as good as the spirit water, because again, the spirit water wears off and you have to wait for it to reapply, so you end up with like 5 or 6 seconds per half a heart instead of I think 2.5 is what it's supposed to be. Alrighty folks, and back. Got the gold block and everything ready. I just wanted to point out, so I do have about 1.5 stacks of wheat from the MFR farm up there now. And of course the cinder farm's still going 22 stacks of coal, 5 stacks of blaze rods, and 27.5 stacks of whatever those are, ember charges. There we go. So I don't know what to do with the ember charges. Maybe they can be used as fuel. Maybe I can. That'd be cool. Anyway, it's time to do the thing and see if we can get this Magician's Blood Orb. Let me just check it one more time. Magician's Blood Orb. Yes, block of gold, tier 3 altar, 25,000 life points. Okay, so just to double check, we are full. We've got 10,000 life points. We've got lots of cows to sacrifice. I have my sacrificial knife. Oh, I'm going to eat a burger just to get a little bit of saturation going. Alright, here we go. This is going to take a bit because blood moves slowly, and even the 10,000 I was doing on the slates took quite a long time. So I think I'll probably just kind of hush here and do the sacrifice and stuff, and then fast forward through it so you guys can see how it goes. Cross your fingers. I hope we can keep up with it, and here we go. Sweet, did it, and 3,000 left. So there, got our Magician's Blood Orb, which opens up the whole next tier of stuff. Now I can do the Runes of Augmented Capacity, so we can get above this 10,000. Oh, look at all the XP balls all over the place. Let's come over here. Oh, are you guys still mad? I logged out and logged back in. Maybe they're not mad anymore. Oh, I can't even get up here at the moment. Yeah, lots of XP balls, and should be a bunch of steaks. Well, raw beef. But we did it. Alright, yeah, 32, 40 steaks, that's good. No leather? Oh, here's the leather. 20 leather. Alright, so we got leather, we got steaks, and we've got the Magician's Blood Orb. So now, like I said, I can do these. Rune of Dislocation allows you to pipe the blood in and out faster. Because it's a liquid, you can put it in tanks and use Fluiducts on it. What's this one? Oh, that's for the rituals. And yeah, here we go. This, I actually want to make this one. So this Sigil of Elemental Affinity will give us immunity to fire damage, falling damage, and drowning. Well, not quite immunity, because it uses up your life points. So if you ever run out of life points, then you're not immune, but as long as you have life points, you're good. So yeah, we have to make the lower tier, the lava one, which creates lava, air, which lets you fly around a little bit, and the water, which creates water, plus an imbued slate, which is tier 3 slate, which is going to take 5,000 on top of that one, but we only need 1, so that's not too big a deal. And I just lost my place. Okay, so bunch of stuff. I'm going to make a bunch of these sigils. Oh, that's if you got lots of them, you can bind them together somehow. Like I said, there's a ton of stuff we could do here. I kind of don't want to get super deep into all this stuff. Sigil of the Bloodland. I don't even know what that does. That sounds cool. Maybe it's a way to make magic lights? Let me have to check that one out. Cores. Okay, that's like for the armors and stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah, heads up, guys. If you guys know blood magic and you know this bound armor, in normal blood magic, this basically makes you immune to all damage. It gives you basically 100% damage reduction, but because natural absorption is turned on, and it is configured to disable damage reduction, that doesn't work. Bound armor is not immune to damage in this pack. So, and this takes a lot to make. So don't go crazy making this bound armor and think that you're going to be immune to everything, because you are not. You will still get hurt, and it's not going to do what it would do in a normal pack, which is fine because you're not supposed to be immune to everything in this pack. Well, it's fine with me. I don't know if it's fine with you guys, but just a little heads up on that one. Okay, let me work on some sigils. I mean, you guys, some of you know how to do the sigils already. For those who don't, basically, let me just find one. We were just looking at one. Basically, it's just shaped crafting, and we just have to make these, you know, different ones in the shaped crafting grid, and then they take whatever, slates and buckets of lava and whatever. You can find all this through NEI. Oh, lava crystals, I totally forgot about that. So this thing, if you make this guy, and it's, you know, weak blood orb, this is like very low tier, you can actually put this in an oven and use it to smelt things based off your life points instead of based off of coal or RF or whatever. But right now, I don't have an automated way to get life points. I do have automated ways to get power and RF and coal and stuff, so not too exciting to me, but apparently I need to make one of those at least for the one of those sigils that I want to make. So okay, I'm going to do some more sacrificing and get some sigils put together, and then we'll come back, take a look at the sigils a little bit maybe, and see how much time I got after that. See you guys in a bit. Alrighty folks, and we're back. It's another lovely Minecraft morning here at the base. And I may have gone just a little bit sigil crazy. Yeah, there are a lot of really cool sigils. Honestly, I think the coolest one is this sigil of the dome, but it takes a master blood orb, so I can't make that one. Oh, and a teleposer, which I don't even know what that is, and some other things. So I think that one's really cool. I've seen it in other people's channels, and I tried it out in creative mode. If you turn that on and then walk into lava or water or any fluid, it removes all the water or lava or whatever that's near you, kind of like you've got a dome shield around you, and then as you move off, then the liquid restores itself and comes back. But anyway, can't make that one yet, but I did make blood lamp, water, lava, the elemental affinity one, which actually takes lava, water, and air. So I made two each of these guys, because I figured, hey, if I'm making sigils, I may as well make them. So air sigil, let's play with this. Watch this. Whee! I'm flying, sort of. I'm gusting in a direction. So yeah, if I click this, you know, let's do it here. If I kind of jump and then click it once, I go about, oh, I just barely made it, yeah. But then I can click it a couple times to continue. Oh, and there you go. So you do take fall damage, but if you, see if I can do this. You kind of come up, and then as you come down, oh, I didn't do it. Anyway, if you gust yourself towards the ground a little bit and you don't actually fall, you just, you know, use the sigil to come down, then you can get it so you don't take fall damage. But it's a little bit finicky, I'll say. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. That takes 50 life points per use, and you know, I used what, probably 30 of them or so there. So that's gonna eat in. Oh wow, yeah. I just used up like almost 2,000 life points. So unless you've got a steady supply of life points going into your network, that's gonna eat up your life points pretty darn quick. The water and the lava aren't so exciting. I think I'll basically it creates a source block of water or a source block of lava and uses up some life points to do so. The elemental affinity one is awesome, especially if we were to use it with the air sigil. So this guy, if we turn him on, it's going to use 200 life points every 10 seconds, I think. So what are we at now? 8110. And once we turn it on, I can now jump down from here. Bonk, no fall damage. But if I check this now, 7910. So it has used up a bit of life points. Oh, there we go. And we get a little bit of a effect every 10 seconds or so, I guess, to show that it's using up some life points. There it goes. Yep. So we don't want to leave that on forever. Come on. But that's pretty cool. So we're not going to take any fall damage with this. And then, of course, if we use that with the air sigil, we can fly pretty much without taking any damage, which is really neat. We're also not going to take any fire or lava damage, which might be really nice in the nether. So that's pretty cool. And we also don't take... Oh, we don't drown. So this will keep you from drowning as well. But keep in mind, it does take a certain amount of life points. So this kind of comes to be a whole infrastructure thing. And there is a ritual which will constantly replenish your life points without you standing here sacrificing things. You might notice I sort of used up all the cows sacrificing them to make all these sigils and refill the thing and whatever. So getting enough life points without kind of some automation is just a problem, and not sure how far I want to go with that. And I mentioned those two. Okay, so let me put, actually let's put it in here, because the knapsack's a little weird sometimes. I'm going to put the lava sigil in here because I don't see a need to create lava very often. But what I'm going to do, this is going to be exciting. Oh, blood lamp. Didn't show that one. Let's use this form of flight for the moment. Slowly. And if I F7, we can see out there there's all sorts of yellow X's. Just shoot that, and there you go. Basically there's a little torch. You just barely see it. I'll put one right here so you can see it. There's a little bitty blood light. Now, the cool thing about this, I tried it. It's not griefed. The creepers just ignored it completely. So not only is it a ranged light source, but it's not griefable. So that's pretty good stuff. And that one takes not a lot. It was at 5 or 50 light points per... Maybe it was only 5. But, you know, again, if you're caving and throwing those things all over the place, eventually it's going to take out a fair amount. Okay, so last thing is the... Did I not make it? I didn't make it. I want to make the sigil of holding. Divination, water, air, affinity, and blood lamp. Oh, and that's one too many. So there's this thing called the sigil of holding. Let's find that again. Haste. Oh, haste is awesome too, but that's also the master blood orb. Okay, sigil of holding. What is that going to take? Oh, I need another imbued slate, so that's going to take another 5,000 for that tier, 2,000 for that tier, 1,000, so 8,000 total to make that guy. I thought I had made that. Oh well. I guess I was just messing around in the other world. Okay, so this guy's going to let me bind these together, and instead of having 4 of them, I think it'll only do 4. But instead of having 4, I'll have 1 that I can rotate through things. So I need to pick one of these that I don't really need. I mean, flight is awesome. This one's awesome. Ranged lamps is awesome for caving. Maybe I don't really need that. I could put that on the bar. Water is good if you get set on fire. But then again, you can't pick up the water with that. Let's get rid of that one. So you can create the water source, but you can't pick it up. So let's just use a regular old bucket for that. And then I'll put these 4 on the sigil of holding. But well, let me go ahead and create that thing, build that thing. Let me just check in here. Did I do it and then just leave it in the crafting table? I don't think so. Nope. Yeah, and here's my orb. So let me put that together. It's going to take another 8,000 life points over here, and I'll be back and we'll just go through putting the sigils together and using them. And then I think we're going to be about out of time. Oh, we're already out of time. Well, that's okay. I'll be back for just a minute. Be right back, guys. Alright folks, just real quickly, here we go. We've got the orb, the imbued slate, tier 3 slate, some tier 1 slates, and some stone. I'm going to turn that into the sigil of holding, and make sure at this point you don't have any sigils. You know what? The backpack I'm pretty sure is fine, but I'm actually going to put these into a chest. Let's just throw them in here for the moment. Alright. So once we do this, it can't be easily undone. I guess there is a way, but it's not obvious how. So we're going to have the 4 sigils that I want in my inventory. Divination, Blood Lamp, Elemental Affinity, and Air. And then I think you probably shift right click? There we go. Okay, so it bound one of them. So it's still a sigil holding, but now it has a sigil of Blood Lamp in it. Oh, and I guess the order is dependent on that. Where they are in your inventory. Okay, so Blood Lamp and Divination can go first. Did it not? Oh, there it goes. It just didn't change because it's still that. So we've got Blood Lamp, Divination, Elemental Affinity, and Air, and that's it. I believe it can only have four different ones. Now if I shift right click, yes, it will change from one to the next. I will have to get used to the symbols so I know which is which. But there we go. We now have 4 sigils in one. The blue one should be air. There, that's air, and that's the most fun one. Well, actually, let's turn on... Here we go. This should be elemental affinity. No, divination. Next one. There we go. Elemental affinity is on. Now, air. Fly into the sky. Whee! And fall. There we go. I did it, and I didn't die or anything. Didn't crunch. Okay, let's turn that back off before we use up all the power. And then I can make lights. Yay! Lights. Alright, cool. Well, like I said, I didn't want to spend a ton of time on blood magic, but oh man, there's so many cool things in blood magic. So I think it was well worth doing some of the sigils. The ritual takes a lot, and I don't know that I want to do that. I want to move on to the next thing. I said at the beginning of this video, maybe if we had time I would start looking at the next thing, but we don't have time. But I'll just show you. Remember these? Yeah. It's been a while, and our wither seed is growing fine. We have enough for 3 wither skeleton skulls, which means we can fight the wither next episode. Woo! That's scary. That might be scary because there's no damage reduction, and he hits really, really hard. I can become immune to lava and drowning, but I can't become immune to wither. So there's that. At any rate, that is definitely it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 50. Again, check the description if you want to get a world download and come check this out on your own. I will make sure to save it in the morning, and I'm not going to change spawn, I don't think. I got here without too much trouble. I don't even remember where original spawn was, but you should have the map. If not, again, the coordinates of the base are about 200 by 200 or 230 by 230-ish, depending on where in the base you're standing. So, hope you folks all enjoy this. Hope to see you next time. I'll catch you later.